On behalf of Delaware Dan, we at Delaware Dan LLC Industries, Media Holdings, Prayer Force One, Street Legal Team, Attorneys at Large and Lawyers Without Purposes LLC all would like to wish you and your family one big happy stress-filled and free American secular Christmas bank holiday. Attention alert, Black Friday has been canceled. Only Delaware Dan can provide you and your families with the Delaware deals that have been so long awaiting for them. Big discounts, skip the long lines, 35% convenience fee, plus 15% transaction non-negotiable fees will be accrued on your account this holiday season. Merry Christmas, and remember that if you and your family's accounts will not be or not paid up entirely in full, you will default on your family and regress into criminal mind patterns that have been labeled under legal law as illicit thoughts, which are in fact illegal crimes. Section C, paragraph 2.5. Illegal crimes.
Signing on.
Hey there, folks, it's Delaware Dan. No problem. 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 Hey there, folks, it's Delaware
Hey, my bad. This has been recording this whole time. All right. Delaware Dan, welcome to episode 8. I'm going to get a couple through. We got a big announcement this week. Coming up, we got live interview with Nels Bumra himself. Nels Bumra from the previous episode. Try to get him on the line. He's agreed to a phone conversation today. So it's pretty good, and they got a lot of good segments coming up. But first things first, I want to kind of reiterate that there are a lot of Delaware Dans out there, this we know. So that being said, I'm going to read about a Delaware Dan that is not the real Delaware Dan. This is fake Delaware Dan. And before we go into that, I'm trying to get, just want to thank you guys to talking about going on. Listening to Delaware Dan Christmas holiday special. For those who don't celebrate Christmas, we got holidays kind of all inclusive. Everybody's invited to Delaware Dan. Listen to bonus episode Delaware Dan holiday special. It's pretty good. I think you and your family are going to enjoy it. It's kind of ease the tension. I know this holiday is very stressful time, so go ahead, go back and listen to that. We'll talk more about it later in the episode, but Delaware Dan, he's a grifter, and he's lying about his identity. His name's Dan Reeder, better known as Delaware Dan for his full playing abilities at the Delaware Dan, better known as Dan Reeder for his fullback playing abilities at the University of Delaware, was part of a Father's Day themed video released on June 19th by LA Rams Reeder, who starred for the Fighting Blue Hens from 1982 through 85. See, this timeline is not even real. Delaware Dan didn't even exist back then. Does your family suffer from, gold nugget hunters who all portaled in a strictly interdimensional sense, and it appeared when imports on Naaman's Road in North Wilmington because they just so happened to watch the film Wishmaster during a lunar eclipse, which mirrored the curvature of the butt cheeks on a seraphim sculpture that was stolen from the nativity scene at the St. Mary's of the Assumption's Catholic Church in Hokeston, Delaware by Nate Homan and Taylor Jordan Haggerty, aka DJ Sorta Rican? Then no problem, call Delaware Dan at call 302-69. Get it on a touch-tone phone. Call Delaware Dan. No problem. I don't even think Delaware Dan was alive back in '85. That's what I'm saying. This is some fake information out there. You gotta really be discerning. Gotta be real discerning on it. So just make sure that you know the real Delaware Dan, you know which is the real one. So this is obviously a fake Delaware Dan. You don't play no basketball or soccer, whatever this is called, football. Like his father, Reeder started at Delaware but thrived on defense, where he collected the first-time All-CAA Colonial Athletic Association honors 2017. All right, so this is where, this might be Delaware Dan, because 2017, Delaware Dan is notably active. Let's see here. Let's go back. 2017, what was Delaware Dan up to? So, okay, we're going back. We're going to check 2017 Delaware Dan. And that is, it might be random acts of, actually, no, it's before then. Okay, so this is interesting. This is going back. Delaware Dan 2017, doing, talking about all kinds of stuff, topics, issues that we're bringing up here on a podcast years later. But very brief, we're going to listen to a real brief segment here, doing Delaware Dan, doing something about Hoagie Fest. So, I can't find it. It's pretty interesting stuff, Delaware Dan. I gotta say, infinity of years. So, but here we have it, Delaware Dan, 2017, 2018. A little bit of a throwback, and just want to kind of show you guys like what's going on with Delaware Dan. This one's called Backroom Interview Ad, Soiled Couch.
Hey there, folks, it's Delaware Dan again with yet again another announcement. Does your family suffer from specific voice command mumbled by the genital wart on the mini version of a Don Henley covering Bryan Adams' This Ain't No Shangri-La? She says. No problem. Call now with a touch-tone phone, and when they also had too much motor to...
So you can kind of hear there's a little bit of a hesitation in the Delaware Dan voice. It's not usual for that type of deliberation and thoughtfulness to be involved in the Delaware Dan accent. Going farther back, as you've heard, I don't even need to reiterate episode 1. You just go back, listen to episode 1, listen to the whole show. I don't know why you haven't listened. If you're listening to this episode, you haven't listened to episode 1, you're going to be very lost. So, but here's some early Delaware Dan.
Does your family suffer from lockjaw when attempting to punish small rodent-like creatures that tend to populate the tiny spaces between the mechanical locks that were installed on your chastity belt when you were caught fornicating with men ages 37 and older during a church service in remembrance for victims of colon-related crimes? No problem. Delaware Dan has your back. Call 1-800-302-333.
All right, so the phone number's changed since then, but you get the idea. That's basically what the Delaware Dan deal has always been. So, okay, enough of that. We're moving on. We got Nels Bumra coming up. And, yeah, so stay tuned for that. It's pretty exciting stuff. Interview with Nels. All right. And now, presenting the exclusive phone interview with Nels Bumra. Nels Bumra, now reissued on Coin Dolphin Arrangements. In Full Regalia, great album there, Nels Bumra. We got him on the phone. And we're just gonna get him on the line real quick. Big fans here at Delaware, and it's not many not many interviews with the guy, so he's pretty kind of reclusive out here. But we're gonna get him on the phone. Just a minute. All right, Nels Bumra is a part of the Baltimore Old Wave. It's what's known as the Glen Burnie Wave back in the day. So that's what we got going on right now with this. So what you're listening to is Breeze Off the Ocean by Nels Bumra from the reissue by Coin Dolphin Arrangements in Full Regalia. Here's about a little info about Coin Dolphin. You can hear this on a previous episode. So again, I'm not bringing this up to be rude or nothing, but if you haven't listened to the previous episodes, there's no reason why you should be listening to this episode. Turn this off right now. Turn it off. And go ahead, go back, listen to the original episode, Delaware Dan. But in the meantime, let me just reiterate. So for those who have heard it, you can continue to listen now. You're listening to Nels Bumra. Pretty good. Coin Dolphin Arrangements, proudly handmade in Baltimore by hand since the days before, and is founded by Delaware Ambry. A little thing about Coin Dolphin. Just gonna look it up real quick. They're doing reissues on him, reissues all kinds of various stuff, and Nels Bumra came out in like the 50s or something like that, and we finally got him. Big fan here at Delaware Dan. I've said this previously and I'm not repeating it. Available for the first time in the U.S., Nels Bumra's In Full Regalia has been brought to you via Coin Dolphin Arrangements. Nels, born 1959, has been transcending musical genres as a songwriter-performer since the days of his first group, the boy band Smooth Alien, writing hits for such artists such as Ruben, Balbuccio De Gatto, Harry Dillon's Expanse, Ritchie Highway, and Concierto Malargo, to name a few. Now settled down in the Edgemere neighborhood of Baltimore County, Nels Bumra is content with his work over the years and spends his time with his many grandchildren, taking his boat down North Point Creek to fish near the ghostly old steel mill by Delaware. So this was written by Delaware Ambry, who's a real person. You can look him up, coindolphin.bandcamp, or do Coin Dolphin Arrangements online. You find all the information out you need on that concerning that. All right, I hope Nels answers the phone. That would be great. That'd be pretty good. I'm so nervous. About to talk to one of my own all-time musical heroes of all time. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I hope he answers. Well, I hope he answers the phone any minute now. Any minute now. Shit. God damn it. All right. So he didn't answer that time. Let's try him again. All right. Mr. Nels, if you're there, please answer the phone. Stellar Dan, been waiting a long time for this. Don't do this to me right now. Come on. Who am I? I'm Delaware Dan.
Talking to Nels Bumra is like opening Christmas gifts. Am I thinking this right now? Am I Delaware Dan?
Hello there, Dan. It's great to be here. As I've been a fan of your dabbles into the world of the recorded word, You may remember this, but you met my nephew Derek and did him a great deal of help with his legal problems. The whole family really appreciates it, though I won't go any further.
Well, this. You know what we say? No problem. That's what we say, Delaware Dan, and your nephew's a good guy, real good kid, and he didn't. I know he didn't do it. No, I won't say nothing else here. But yeah, I guess So yeah, just want to see if it's cool. Ask you a couple questions.
Ask as many as you like, man. I got about 20 minutes here before I gotta pick my sister up from across the creek. She got a job at Hard Yacht. Yeah. Oh, Lord knows she needs it, but I'm not stepping foot in there.
Well, that sounds pretty good. No judgment. The sister's got to do what she got to do, but we'll make this quick.
Wonderful.
And what are some of your what are some of your favorite questions to be asked in an interview?
Never cared for them much myself, but you did a great deal of service to my family. So ask away. Next question.
What are some topics that you dislike or try to avoid in interviews, like about the tragic breakup of the boy band Smooth Alien? Yeah, that was a big one.
Tragic? Well, I guess that depends on who you ask. Smooth Alien was like a goddamn banshee out of hell. You gotta understand something, Dan. We were the only group on the scene, possibly in the whole United States, that had the frosted tips. Yeah, that's what they call them. Ask any of those Justin Timberlake, they know Smooth Alien. Those guys study us, and with that kind of pressure, sometimes you can't take it, and you just break, right? There in the goddamn Love's parking lot, some guys just lose it. And I don't mean mentally, Dan, but, their chops, man. And those are the ones telling people years later that things ended tragically. I'm not gonna say any specific names. I left that life years behind me, and I have no goddamn intention of going back. Valentino dropped the ball many times, but that's all I'll say on it. You can ask him about it.
So we'll try to get him on the phone. I mean, we've tried tracking him down. Little to no success. Turns out he's working at the Wawa up in Elk Ridge. So we'll get to that. But moving right along. What are some of your favorite methods for feeding small mammals, such as cats?
Well, Dan, cats are nasty little suckers, man. There's a couple of them that hang around the back of my shop just whining and groaning for kibble. And I'll tell you what, I'm not putting my hand anywhere near those little things. They feed themselves well without the hand of a human, but they're just a little bit spoiled. My grandson brings them the ham bones, which they seem to enjoy, so that's all I've got to say on that subject.
Well, it's very important stuff, and it seems to be, the way to go as far as being cautious on the small mammals and such. All right, well then, what on the song "We Trucker"? Now we hear this song on the album, seminal album, In Full Regalia. We hear several horn sound effects. Tell me, Mr. Nels, were these horns used in the Great Marijuana Race in 1967, which featured a young Glenn Burney on Triangle?
Oh, I don't remember that one, but again, my memory's pretty bad at this point, so I'll take your word for it. Glenn was a great, friend. He was a great guy, a friend of the family. Tap that triangle soft and loud, quiet, anywhere you'd want to hear it. but with, like, biceps, you know, like fucking artichokes, man, I'm telling you. You may not think artichokes would be a good comparison, but Glenn was kind of small of a guy, you know, you see stout, and those fucking artichokes caressed the living shit out of that triangle, man. God put that damn piece of bent metal on Earth for Glenn, man.
Yeah,
Excuse my language, I'm having my 4 o'clock beer and these memories got me riled up.
it's all good. You know, it's a lot of, sure, there's a lot of memories. You hearing names like Harry Dillon and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And speaking of that, what can you say about any of your previous work and involvement with the all-star talent, like such as Richie Highway or Harry Dillon's Expanse? You know, any good things, bad things, ugly things, everything in between, you know? I'm sure you got a lot to say about that on the matter.
Well, things were rather laid back with those guys. You know, they did their thing, we did ours, and we made a little money. We were needing it. Richie had some shady stuff going on, but I never dabbled.
Hey there, folks, it's Delaware Dan. Does your family suffer from the wrong dose of sedatives being used in the cookies that were set out for the candlelight creeper to crawl through the crinkly crags of the creaky, crap-filled wood panels that line the tunnels torn through the quantum divide in the bathtub of your next-door neighbor? You found a scary medallion on Christmas Eve at Christiana Mall when the dads who were all there started swinging on a Santa who had no pants? No problem. Call Delaware Dan for this exact problem. 302-69-420-666 this holiday season. Use the code Christmas Pants and get 15% off. No problem. Call Delaware Dan.
Worked a few records with those guys, and, you know, got out what the getting was good, pretty much. I ran into Carl a while back, where, you know, Harry, as the audience knows him, he was working at my dear mother's retirement home and, you know, handing out the bills, and it seemed pretty good for him, you know. But, yeah.
How about that? You know, these are all the stories that, you know, I think big fans have been wanting to hear for a long time, especially those following on the Coin Dolphin arrangements, and, you know, we're really thankful to have access to all this information. And, you know, but, yeah, that being said again, what did you face any legal tribulations after the release of the final Richie Highway album? And, like, can you elaborate on anything that may or may not have happened, you know, in that situation here?
Me? Oh, man, all I know is Richie got himself into some trouble, needed some cash, and had a damn good album on his hands. And he took that album, placed that sucker right in the wrong hands. Things, you know, were not easy for those guys those days, but you gotta remember, the last Highway album at that point was, you know, Richie, 2 or 3 guys he pulled off the street, you know, at least one of them sleeping at any given moment, and, I believe, another guy named Richie who would at least stop in and, you know, make sure nobody was pissing on the tape recorder, which would happen. At that point, I stopped working with those guys. I had my share.
Yeah, it's understandable. It's a lot. Well, you know, we're real thankful for you doing this interview, and, you know, in full regalia, top-selling reissue to be released by Coin Dolphin Arrangements. Can we expect any more re-releases from the mighty Nels Bumra in the future?
Top selling. Oh, were you reading these things on the internet or something? Sure, Delaware's paid well at first, but I haven't heard from him in a while. And, you know, I'm taking it easy these days, man. You know, goddamn living. If those guys want to raise something on the table, we could talk, cause, you know, unlike Richie, I held on to those suckers, you know. I use them as coasters. Not letting some slick kid in a suit, weasel away with my reels.
Well, there you go. You make do with what you got. And well, anyways, thanks for taking the time to do this interview. And big fans. We're gonna keep listening. Hopefully, you get your sister, picking up her in time. And thanks so much. Hello, Nels. Are you there? Hello. Is Nels Bumra still on the line? He's off. All right, so we lost connection there, but that was the immortal Nels Bumra. Very, very influential. Personage, under celebrated in his time for sure. But hopefully in the future, people can. Maybe it's kind of be some sort of cautionary tale. You appreciate the musicians you got right in front of you, and for next thing you know, it's all of a sudden, all up in the air. So, anyways, coming up next, we got a segment. Well, first off, we got to get to this illegal crimes. Well, illegal crimes will not be occurring this week due to, someone went sniffing around and they, started getting into the copyrights and all that. Apparently, illegal crimes. Some guy's trying to say he started it. A couple years back, and illegal crimes has always been a Delaware Dan specific segment. I mean, no one else would name it that. We have a very kind of iconic, one of a kind name. Illegal crimes is, has been part of the Delaware Dan. My whole world has been part of illegal crimes. Is deep in illegal crimes. So that's part of the. So anyway, someone's out there basically they're trying to sue us and over stealing their intellectual property, which is bullshit, by the way, because I don't remember it ever being illegal to say, hey, that's a good idea. I got the same good idea. I mean, if that was such a thing, then the simultaneous invention of the wheel, explain that. There's no legalities about that. So that's kind of shit that really gets my blood boiling. And anyways, we're skipping illegal crimes this month, basically just because this is fucking bullshit. In other news, we are going to be kind of addressing some illicit crimes or criminal types of thinking, thought patterns that are labeled as criminal. Thinking about I'm maybe going to do something that I know is illegal, but you haven't committed the crime yet. It's called a thought crime. And, if you're thinking it, you might as well just turn yourself in right now. Because, as your attorney, Delaware Dan, I cannot advise you to take any other course of action. You better just give them what they want, and you just turn yourself in for having illegal thoughts. But we are going to be getting into that in a bit. But before that, we're going to bring it back to the, kind of holiday season, what's going on right now with Christmas and Kwanzaa and all that. So, Hanukkah, it's a big one. And, we're celebrating kind of all of them at once. There's no reason not to just pick one. You might as well just do them all in one fell swoop. So that's what kind of holiday special is about that too. So it's pretty cool. So coming up next, we got a specialist talking about going in a little bit about history of Christmas, what that might mean. And all right, let's get her on the line. Oh, and the name of this segment is discussion about Christmas holiday season with Delaware Dan.
Discussion about Christmas holiday season with Delaware Dan, featuring
Katie Dill.
Hello.
Hey, this is Delaware Dan calling.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good, it's another day here in Delaware, Delaware asterisk. But other than that, it's beautiful Christmas season here in the warm weather that we're having in Delaware. So, but yeah, I just want to ask you a couple questions about Christmas if you got time. What's it like where you're at?
Do we know each other?
I'm pretty sure we do. We met we met at University of Delaware. I was working at the bagel, and you came in and you were like, "I'm gonna get a bagel," and then next thing I know, Does your family suffer from the erotic motions of too many lap-steel lap guests at the naughty elf-themed strip club in the bog that was formerly Ellesmere, where a shopping spree this upcoming Friday will summon the final demon Christ this holiday season, who lied to all them QAnons it was canceled for them not stealing a vote back, and now he's found himself a part-time job as the spank devil in a freeze aisle, and they say no one wants to work no more. We'll call Delaware Dan for this exact problem. Call 302, only call 302-420-4269. No problem. Call Delaware Dan. You know, we're looking after a flock of rubber chickens, and they all live in this house, and it's, you know, kind of a crazy party house. So,
wait, were you the guy who worked at Bagel Mania or New York Deli and Bagels?
it's a Newark Deli and Bagel.
Oh my God. You're that guy who refused to scoop out my tuna bagel.
You know, I was having a rough day. My wrist kind of hurt, and to be honest, you know, is what it is. You know, we can come back to that.
I mean, listen, it's not like, it's just, if you work at a bagel store, you know, you might have to scoop out some bagels because it's a lot of bread.
I'm not disagreeing with you. At the time, it was just very difficult for me. I was going through a rough time with that, and I get your perspective on this, though.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's just like the tuna squirts out then, too, if you don't scoop it out.
Yeah, okay. That's valid point there. You know, I've thought about it the last 10 years, and I realized that that's probably true. So it is true. I actually agree.
And I'm sorry, too, because I shouldn't have yelled at you for not scooping out the bagel. I shouldn't have, like, you know, made a scene.
Hey, you know, these things happen, especially busy day, Main Street, you got cars honking, it's Christmas. So, yeah. So, what's...
Well, it's good to hear from you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good to hear from you, too. You know. Just gonna. So what you got? Any updates on? Or so what are you doing in Christmas? How's Christmas where you're at?
Well, Christmas is good. I'm back in Delaware. I lost my accent because I moved to LA to become an actor.
It's understandable.
I took some voice lessons and some classes, and then I failed in LA and I left town. I didn't make it. So I'm back in Delaware, and I'm starting to get some of my accent back. I've been trying to work on it. So I say, like, instead of Wilmington, which is what my acting coaches would tell me to say, I say Wilmington.
Wilmington. Yeah. No, I've heard of that place.
Yeah, and like instead of Philly, I try and say, now I'm back to saying Philly.
Okay. Yeah.
Philly.
Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate to my experience. I can relate to that.
Yeah, we're going up to Philly.
We're going up there for the weekend, going to see what kind of trouble we get into, have some near-death experiences, come back. You know, it's all good. You know,
yeah.
Self-inflicted, of course.
You know, I'm just trying to get back into the spirit of things, you know.
Yeah.
Touch my roots.
Well, so that's something here at Delaware Dan. We're trying to, in order to...
Delaware Dan, your connection's a little bad. You keep going in and out.
Let me see what's going on here.
I can't... Can you make it any clearer?
Yeah, hold on one second.
Now I really can't hear you.
Uh-oh. Right, hold on one second. We're having some technical difficulties here. All right, what about now?
Yeah, that's better.
All right, sometimes this... You know, we got state-of-the-art technology here at Delaware Dan Temple of Marketing, but it only gets you so far because, honestly, it's probably outdated. It's state-of-the-art but outdated, so it's kind of best of both worlds.
Right,
but,
yeah.
You know, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But so we were thinking, we wanted to find out if you knew anything about, you know, maybe the history of Christmas in the state of Delaware, but,
yeah.
You know, any kind of tax stuff going?
Well, I actually found this book. I was at the UD library the other day posing as a student, and I went to the restricted section, and I put on the gloves, and I found this book, and it did have a lot of dust on it. I had to blow off. And it was called The First Delaware Christmas. And I read some of it, not the whole thing, and it was really interesting because apparently Edgar Allan Poe was at the deer park and he found an old book of George Washington's called Dear Diary, It's Christmas. And in this book, George detailed having his first Delaware Christmas with his troops in the snow, and they were crossing the Delaware and it was cold. They were in their boat.
Breaking the ice and all that.
Right. And they just had like this one cold morning. They woke up on the boat and then one of them just started skating like on the ice,
How about
and
that?
they were like, wow, like we're really crossing the Delaware now. And they had a Christmas skate. And so Edgar Allan Poe, 200 years later, was reading this, and I don't know, 100, 200 years later, and he was like, I want to have my own Delaware Christmas. So he spilled out every drink at the deer park onto the street, and then it froze over and they all started skating.
That's incredible. You don't hear that every day.
No, you don't. So we're gonna recreate it on Friday. We're gonna go to the deer park, order a few hundred pitchers, and pour them out all over the parking lot and have a skate for Delaware Christmas.
Skate's so cool. I mean, they got all these tricks and they're doing flips on him, and that's awesome. You're getting all them pictures too, because when you dump them out on the street, it kind of the alcohol has like a reverse effect. It's totally crazy, and it freezes over. It heats up, and then but to the point where it just kind of cancels itself out. And scientists have proven this at the Temple Marketing, that you can freeze alcohol in a split second. And especially if you're using like 200-300 of them pitchers, you're throwing them down, and So so this is going to be on Friday?
Yeah, it's on Friday.
That's pretty cool.
And on Saturday we're gonna have a brunch.
Okay, what, homegrown or one of them spots?
Homegrown on Main Street. Yeah.
I've been there. I bought Adderall off a kid there once when I was a youngster. But anyways, I didn't just. I'm gonna go back and edit this out. So if you don't worry if you say any kind of illegal, illicit. I'm a lawyer, so I'm kind of a lawyer. It's a long story, but I basically have all the skills of a lawyer, and I can pretty much advise you to, I can edit this out, and no one's going to know about the crime. You can even say it, and no one can prove that.
Dude, I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's no problem. Like I
appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all good, and also no problem. That's that's kind of my tagline, no problem. Because at the end of the day, it's no problem.
Right.
They got these dudes growing up on mountains on the other side of the planet, and they're just like, dude, it's no problem. So, all right.
You got dudes growing up on mountains?
Yeah, they're going up in them caves, and they're singing them songs and shit. And they're looking at these fairies or something. I don't know. That's crazy shit.
What are you talking about right now, dude?
This in Tibet. It's a deep secret. I don't know. But they sometimes, some of those people probably come through Christiana Mall on a Christmas season, and they become so overwhelmed. Like what kind of decor they got at Christiana Mall this time of year, Christmas wise? Have you seen any good? Oh
yeah, totally. So no, wait, they got Santa's at the Christiana Mall. Okay, he's got boots, he's got a red coat, but he's got boxers on. Okay, and they're like the bottom half is like because he's on a Zoom, so like he's just got boxers, like Santa boxers.
How about that?
And like the kids don't get it, and they're like, why does Santa not have pants? And all the adults are like, ha ha, you remember the Zoom? And the kids are like, we don't even, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, we do Zoom, but we always have pants on. Like, what? And adults are like, it's funny, it's like a reference. And then like the kids are like, I don't want to sit on his lap, because there's like that flap in the boxers, like that opens, like it's like pretty much just not really. You see what I'm saying?
You think by this point, Santas would have more sense to put more layers between, their guests, their lap guests, and their penises. because goddamn, that's a fucking travesty right there.
Isn't that crazy? What's the world coming to? Because it's like you got lap guests. Oh, an overwhelming amount of lap guests.
Overwhelming, totally crazy. So many of these guys, and I think they sign a list. I don't know.
They do sign a list. You have to sign your child's name. You know what? When I took my friend's kids, because she was like, babysit my kids, and I was like, we're going to see Santa. And I took them, and I gave them fake names on the list, because I'm like, I don't want your liberal Santa, okay,
putting his penis.
With his barely shrouded penis, like, you know, and have these kids' name on a list. And whenever someone tries to take a picture of them, I say, masks on, kids, and then they put their masks back up so they can't do facial recognition software. And I gave them fake eyebrows to put up, big bushy eyebrows on a stick, and they just masks on, and they put their eyebrows up and their mask. Sometimes even with the mask, you can still do the facial recognition because your eyes can be distinguished.
Yeah, me and my boy Bayview, we were watching Minority Report, and they got this thing where they walk into it kind of looks like a Gap or something, and they go in there, American Eagle, and all of a sudden their eyes just like light up, and there's these cameras that are scanning their eyes, and Tom Cruise is like, I gotta get out, I can't let them no, he fucking steals some dude's eyes and puts them in his own head. This fucking German guy puts these eyes in his head, and he's like, I'm good. He can get his retina scan. I think they can do that. I think that's like a real thing, even though it's like a movie.
They've been doing that. They've been doing that at the Christiana Mall.
See, I fucking knew some shit was going on with that. One time, I worked briefly in the photography department, and they fully armed me with semi-automatics, grenades, flashbangs, stun gun. And I was like, what the fuck? And I had to quit. I took the equipment, but I had to quit. I was like, something ain't right with this. I don't know. But
it's pretty intense. It's like intense security, man. Because they got a Michael Kors in there now. They got to protect the purses and stuff, you know?
Yeah, all the beers and shit.
Yeah, there's like a
I'm drinking a Coors right now, actually, believe it or not.
What? You're drinking a Coors? I'm saying Coors Michael Kors.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Michael Kors, he was like a designer, but I feel like no one really, like, he had a rebirth after he was a judge on America's Best Project Runway.
We did the sorry, go ahead.
That's it.
No, we did the PR for him, actually. We did his marketing, and it didn't work out. It was kind of in the early days of Temple marketing. We didn't really know what we were doing. A couple of us just sitting around. We're all named Delaware Dan, kind of looking at each other, being like, "What are we going to do now, Delaware Dan? I don't fucking know. You'd figure it out." And then nothing would ever get done. So I feel bad for him in that regard. But now I remember Michael Kors because I forgot. Previously, I forgot.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think you really dodged the bullet there, dude.
Yeah. Well, Christiana Mall is a scary place. I mean, some people believe that it had a lockdown function where they hit a button, and if you stay there after closing, that all the gates would start closing down, and you'd be stuck in a Christiana Mall for until daylight. So
dude, that is a legend. That is one of the legends that is so real to me, so true to my heart. Also, some people insist it was built on a native burial ground in a sacred soil, and they didn't move the bodies, or maybe they did move the bodies, they just moved them underneath the Pier 1. And so I think that's why some of this like weird stuff is always happening there, you know what I mean? Like, they have those doors where you're like, let me open the door, and then it just opens, and you're like, what?
Yeah, that's crazy. My uncle actually bought he bought like a tableau from there, like it's almost like a table, but it's French, and it had like this face in it that was like totally demonic and like satanic looking, and like I don't know what was up with this tableau, but it was fucking very scary shit.
Dude, that's crazy. Did you get it the tableau court?
been to court many times, many tableaus involved in that, you know.
You know what's crazy? I got this medallion at the Christiana Mall. It was like a golden medallion, you know, and it too had some like sort of like demonic, like Arabic, like phrases. Like I some phraseology.
Whoa.
I'm not educated enough to translate the phraseology, phonetically. I think it was the Phoenicians, and so it started to shake one night and glow, and I just put it in the bathtub and forgot about it. So it's probably still up there, but
hopefully it's not creating a portal to nowhere. You know, that's when shit gets real dicey, real quick. In movies,
real quick. Yeah,
that's just something that happens. All of a sudden, a portal opens, and it's a door to nowhere, and it's you never know what kind of lawsuit you're gonna get involved when that happens, because that's some shit.
No, you better tie a pretty thick rope to yourself if you're gonna go in the portal.
Yeah, and that's pretty much, you know, what I think maybe Santa's experience is going down the chimney. Is that kind
You're so right.
That's what I would think about. If I was Santa Claus, that's exactly how I would feel in that moment with going down. You ever see Santa Claus in your house?
Yeah, I did. When I was a little kid, I saw Santa Claus butt crack.
Oh my God, how about that?
How about it though? Because he would though. When you think about it, he would have his butt sticking out of the crack.
He's bending over, getting toys out of the big bag. The sack.
He's got suspenders on, but he's eating a lot of cookies, like, you know. And I saw it, and I was like, "That's Santa."
Well, what if he's going over Morocco and they're all like vegans and they don't got no cookies? So he's giving them gifts because it's Christmas, but then like he's not eating none of them cookies, and he kind of goes in and out of these phases of like he's got all these cookies, he doesn't have all these cookies, and then, you know, Mrs. Claus can't keep up with, you know, making the elves work harder to create new pants for him, different sizes. So then he's losing weight, he's gaining weight, so his pants are kind of falling down. Maybe this is something, and we definitely have seen this in Ellesmere, in Delaware.
Yeah.
There's Santa Claus in Ellesmere. Have you been to Ellesmere recently?
Dude, Ellesmere doesn't exist anymore. I was trying to tell you this before. It got washed away.
Get the fuck out. Are you being serious
totally
right
gone.
now?
I was being serious. The party city's gone. The value city's gone. Ellesmere is totally washed away. There was this thing called the Ellesmere floods, and
all this water came down. I think I heard about this.
The water came down. It's gone washed away, and it's like totally gone. And so now, like, you just drive through, like, you know, it's like Price's Corner, and then, like, you know, Bancroft Street, and, you know, like Delaware Avenue, you know, Wilmington, like, you know, Little Italy. It's like basically from Price's Corner to Little Italy, it's just water now. It's just water.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's global warming for you.
It's global warming. I mean, like, I don't believe in that stuff.
Does your family suffer in the Hall of Mirrors surrounding Delaware Dan's Temple of Marketing, exposing truths about myths based on myths concerning hydration and ancient religions? Does your family suffer from leaky gut? They call Delaware Dan gold-digging man pads. Dig deep in them nostrils and find the easy and fictional answers to life's hardest questions, namely relating to mortality and sex, now with gold plating that uses the gold found by an elite group of interdimensional champions being led by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who has indeed transcended the human form. No problem, call Delaware Dan for this exact problem. If you and your family suffer from leaky gut, then this is your answer. Answer to call. Do something about your life. Now, call Delaware Dan, no problem.
But it is what it is.
It's probably aliens then. If it's not global warming, then it's interdimensional beings that we don't understand.
That's what we're talking about, and that's why I opened up that portal in my bathtub.
Oh, whoa, how about that? Yeah.
No, for real, I really did with the medallion. I was going to say that for later, but I have a couple ropes, some carabiners, I have some ice picks, I have some Gatorade, and I have that portal, and it is open up. Like, it's like you walk in the bathroom. I don't even go in there because, like, it's not my master bath, right? It's my half bath. So
right, yeah, I got it.
It does have a tub in it, but it's a half bath because there's no sink. Okay, there's just a toilet and a tub, so you just wash your hands in the tub after you take a shit, right?
Yeah. Naturally.
Still consider it a half bath, you know? And so I put the medallion in there. First few days, it started growing a bunch of like weird stones coming off of it, like stoning up the tub. And then there was like a smoke. And now, like, you don't even go in there because if I open the door, there's like wind coming up, whipping around my hair, and like fucking like lights and noises, screams, you know, like a strange droning sound.
God.
So I did tie some ropes up. I have carabiners on belay, and we're ready to go. And we got the Gatorade. We got some fucking fanny packs. I mean, if you wanna have an exploratory mission, that's where I would start.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm gonna take you up on that. It's a lot, you know. Holiday seasons are just so stressful. It sounds like, and you know, we're going into this. You know, I do want to remind the audience we got the bonus episode, Delaware Dan Holiday Christmas Special. Previously on cassette, now on a bonus episode. You can go back, listen. That came out earlier this month, so go check that out. And then, you guys got any big plans for Christmas coming up? And you know, anything good going? Travels?
Yeah, we always go. We make a point of going to the Hearst factory because they got the potato chips, but then they have a really great outdoor display of lights. And you don't even have to get out of your car. You can just drive around, look at the lights. We got Devil's Road. A couple of my buddies are going to smoke some blunts to go down Devil's Road. That's sort of a tradition when they come home.
It's like a Delaware thing. Very Delaware. Going to Delaware is what they say. It's the code.
It's the code. You got to go to Devil's Road. You got to go. We rent a room at the Super 8, the Hotel 8, and we push the beds together and we just jump on them, have a party. It's pretty fun.
Ned Redmond's going to be there.
Dude, Ned Redmond is a legend, and he's totally going to be there.
He did a keg stand to Weezer's Destroy My Sweater once.
Really?
Probably.
Dude, I feel like I remember that.
He did it at the Newark Deli Bagel around the same time of the refusal of the scoop, but
the scoop at the coop,
scooping them at the coop.
Damn.
How about that?
How about that though?
That's some wild shit.
It is some wild shit. What about you guys? You got some holiday plans?
You know, we're down ashore, so long story. But basically we're, you know, seawater's really warm. Well, it's supposed to be cold. It's kind of warm, but it's the Gulf, so it's a little warmer than usual, a little more saline. So we're trying to figure out if that's going to destroy. You know,
how about them sinkholes?
A lot of them sinkholes around. They gotta watch it.
Portals.
They might be the same portals. Well, you know what? If we go down deep enough, I bet you we'd find a medallion that came from Christiana Mall, similar to the one you had, probably have currently. So I'll let you know if we find it. It might be a minute before we get down there, but I'm pretty confident we're gonna have the same results that you guys had them up in Delaware. So
yeah,
hell yeah.
Dude, well, watch out for the portal sinkhole though, because that'll fuck you up. That'll mess up your day, you know.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. True that. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to get no fucked up. I hope your situation improves. It's because you got the Gatorade and all that. And I wish you the best. Yeah. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the show and talking Christmas talk. You know, it's the season to be doing Christmas stuff. So.
I just remembered who you are.
Okay.
You're that guy. You got your hand blown off in that explosion.
That is very that's a very good memory.
Is that you?
It is me, but it's kind of hard to explain this. The hand didn't actually get blown off. I mean, it kind of did. I did lose a finger, but a lot of kids kind of really let me have it with that. They're saying, "Hey, Delaware Dan," well, at the time just Daniel, and they'd be like, "Hey, you blew your goddamn hand off," and I said, "No, I fucking didn't." But
that was crazy. I remember that though. You were a legend.
Well, thank you. You know, that's I like to think of it on that side of it, where it's it's try to be more positive about his sort of volatile accident. And thank
It
you.
was on Porter Road, right? On Porter Road.
Porter, yeah, somewhere kind of. The only thing I remember is waking up on Paper Mill Road, and that's a whole nother story right there. So I mean, we figured that out. But hey, you stay in touch. I'm gonna have my associate call you right back, just to kind of sign the contract, make sure that anything that you say is legally binding in this interview. Again, like I'm a lawyer, so it's all good. But
okay, I might have to deny it all, but we'll see what shakes out.
That's your legal prerogative, and I advise that. That's my well, you know what I'm trying to say. So
totally. Well, we're going up on Saturday to Nemours. So if you want to tag along, if you guys are gonna be back,
we're gonna check out the grist mill. That sounds pretty good. That Nemours grinding up some gunpowder. Just old American Revolution style. Just making the gunpowder. I guess, is that what they did there?
I think so, man. I mean, that's probably why we got so many portals, dude. Got a lot of Civil War soldiers who got blown up in explosions and shit.
You're goddamn right about that. All right, well, I'll call you right back.
All right, Merry Christmas, Delaware Dan.
Thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and happy holidays for Delaware Dan.
This has been Christmas Conversation with Delaware Dan and Katie Dill. A conversation about Christmas.
All right, so it's like a sort of final part of the episode for today. We're going to run a little long here because we got a very special telephone guest, and it is none other than, drum roll please, Delaware Dan himself. Where I'm going to be going within the subconscious of myself through meditative act. Coming up, you're going to hear the sound effect that will kind of initiate the meditation. We're all going to sit down and meditate, this guided meditation, into the mind of Delaware Dan and into the deep kind of recesses and thoughts of Delaware Dan. We're going to look at our thoughts and we're going to say, there's some thoughts right there about this thing kind of floating around. There's some thoughts floating around in what? That's the question you need to be asking yourself right now. That's what Delaware Dan's going to be doing. We're going to explore the kind of outer limits of all the universe and stuff, We're going to get into some really deep shit. So it's pretty cool. Kind of unlocking the mysteries of temple marketing. Kind of been alluding to this fact. Maybe one day we'll get to it. Today's the day. With it being Christmas and all, and winter solstice, darkest day of the year, due to, in this part of the world, it's pretty, in Delaware at least, it's gets pretty dark, most of the day, and then it kind of, you got really short daylight hours. So, you get up, you go to work, it's dark out, and you work. You see the sunlight, but it's through the bars of the oppression of your job, and then by the time you break free, it's dark again. It's almost like the light was never there. It's like you're running around, and I'm not gonna do the Pink Floyd quote, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Floyd and Zeppelin and all of them. They're pretty good. Pretty good bands. I recommend rock and roll bands like that, Fucking Attila. You can check out all these bands. They're fucking badass. All right, so since it's a dark season, because of that, we're our goal now is to kind of go within, be more introspective, and looking into our, doing meditation basically. And so, to guide our meditation, we have equipped certain technologies that have been developed by Delaware Dan Temple Marketing that are used in the same way we do subliminal marketing. It's actually it was developed by our subliminal marketing department. So that's pretty cool stuff. We're going to be listening to that. And then as a result, we'll be able to enter into the mind of Delaware Dan, and it's going to be fucking crazy. Let me tell you something. All right, here we go. All right, we start with the Temple of Marketing prayer. I solemnly swear that I am up to marketing to children and young adults and all adults and people of all ages, and we're going to be marketing it to them based on their third-party information that had been bought by Delaware Dan, Prayer Force One, and other entities in the situation. And as we now enter into, we're going to close our mind and take a deep breath. Exhale. Just when you exhale, just see all of the business cards just burning up in the flames that are consuming the wildlife out in the California and shit. And when you breathe in, you're breathing in the smoke of when the weed farm burned down and the marijuana smoke out in your brain. You create a blank slate. Just hey there, folks, it's Delaware Dan, spreading holiday cheer all over here. Does your family suffer from too many Blue Lives Matter circle jerks being infiltrated by the armies of the New World Order being spearheaded by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who arrested all them dads who then came in swinging? No problem. Call Delaware Dan at 302-426-96420. Extensions 66D6, D9. And make sure to enter the code Santa Claus ain't wearing no goddamn pants to get 10% off your next purchase. Courtesy Delaware Dan, Temple Marketing. No problem. Call Delaware Dan. Completely barren wasteland, empty mind, meditation. And just keep breathing out. Hold your breath out. Keep holding your breath out. Don't breathe in. Keep holding. Keep holding. Okay, I should have breathed in a little bit there.
Insane Angel is the non-dualistic union of you and your perception of yourself in mathematical relation to the world and how the world perceives you. Insane Angel then melts into light within the void. In one singular moment, the distant clock tower at Rockford Park tolls, and the drone of the Interstate I-95 is swallowed by plant life. All the sounds all merge into one non-dual nanosecond. This nanosecond is then calculated by the interdimensional quantum computer at Temple of Marketing entitled Dual Analytic Nano Controller,
or DANC, or DANC for short. So go ahead, check that out.
Live from the Ithaca Pavilion, please welcome Insane Angel. Brought to you by Electrozone.
Hello.
Hold on one sec. Hey, this Delaware Dan calling for Delaware Dan.
Who am I?
You there? Who's there?
That's me, Delaware Dan.
Well, how about that? Some people say you're Delaware Dan, some people say I'm Delaware Dan. It's a little confusing. How you doing today?
I feel normal. Exactly like what. I thought you said I was Delaware Dan, and now I feel great.
I feel pretty good too. A couple days. I was a little, a little down. Thought maybe I had a fever, but it turns out I just was dehydrated. I got rehydrated. I feel great, and it's good to have you on the phone.
I had a leaky gut because I accidentally broke a CFL tube and inhaled all the phosphor.
That's not good. I hear that can be pretty dangerous.
It can be, but they say if you do have symptoms, they can never really be traced back to the incident. It's too vague.
Well,
usually things like leaky gut, prostatitis. I have all those things, but I try to tell my doctor I was exposed, and
there's been a lot.
They said just try to minimize exposure, but it'll be impossible to trace it back to the event.
That's really weird. That resonates a lot with kind of just what I've been experiencing. But you got any good projects that you're doing? Any good stuff?
I'm unemployed right now. I don't have a job, and have too much mercury poisoning to work. That's when I looked online, I was wondering why I wasn't working, and I looked online about the different severities of mercury poisoning. It said that about the middle level, there's mild poisoning, there's moderate poisoning, and severe poisoning. And once you get up to moderate, you're unemployed. Actually, I'll look it up right now. I'm in front of a computer, so I can tell you right now.
Well, yeah, that's really helpful to kind of have all this access at our fingertips. We can just.
The term spirit in reference to alcohol stems from Middle Eastern alchemy. These alchemists were more concerned with medical elixirs than with transmuting lead into gold. The vapor given off and collected during an alchemical process, as with distillation of alcohol, was called a spirit of the original material.
How about that?
It's a ghost, evaporating ghost.
The ghosts are pretty. They can be kind of scary. I thought
if you're trying to knock the ghost out of someone, just heat him up.
You can vaporize the ghost straight out of it. They distill, and they're very are they still during the process? Are they moving around? Or, what's going on with them? It's scary thinking about the motion. Honestly, I'm a little scared thinking about it right now.
Yeah, and then condensing it again. You got a condensed ghost, and what's that even?
Right. Who's calling the shots on this? I just found out.
All you got left is a shot.
Right.
Drink it down the hatch, and that's what you get. Just a partial human. You start with the human, heat it up, ghost comes out, condense the ghost. You got whatever you have left. You just drink it, and then maybe I don't know.
How about that? That's so
There's good enough for an animation of some kind. To really get the people's imagination about hell and heaven going.
For sure, and that's really how that's how you can kind of sell a product to somebody. I think you sell them on the idea first, and then they think, oh, if I buy Delaware Dan's liquor, Delaware Dan. Let's do. It's called. I just came up with this, Delaware Dan boozy seltzer water, and it's a person. So each seltzer water comes with its own name, kind of like on the Coke bottles, like Sandy or Alvesta or Austin, stuff like that. It all kind of comes together in such a way.
I tried a seltzerita 2 nights ago. It had been in my fridge for, I don't know where it came from, but it was there in a colorful can for a few months at least. And I didn't know what to expect, but it tasted sort of like tomatoes and booze.
How about that? Is it this? All right. They have a 12-pack on Drizzly for $19.99. So but did it come? My question to you: did it come in the can or in a bottle? Because this is saying it looks like a little bottle-shaped can. It might be a bottle-shaped can, actually. Kind of hard to tell.
I see like Bud Light.
Right now, to see Bud Light with
Makes
lime,
sense.
they got it all. They got all that stuff now, and I remember beginning of the pandemic. You had two options for the seltzerita. This is saying it's seltzerita. It's actually Corona that made it. That's its name, a typewriter. But they, you had two options. Now all of a sudden you got all these options. my question to the public is, what if you're like, you know, in your mid-50s, you're going down the road, you're driving in your car, you know, you went to your daughter's fridge, mini fridge in her bedroom in her dorm, and, you know, you're the mom, and you're just kind of driving around having the mom afternoon, and you're drinking some of the seltzer waters that you found in there, and all of a sudden you're like, why am I driving so good? Then you get pulled over, you know, what happens next? Is there a transference? Is there some sort of legal, you know, legality type situation? I don't know. Are we in Delaware right now?
I think it depends on, you know, whether or not the police think you're drunk, and then at that point, if they test you and the seltzer had alcohol in it, then you're.
Yeah, it's rest they say.
So likely issue a DUI.
That makes sense. All right, I was just asking for my mom. She just texted me. She said I'm driving around.
When I got a DUI, I claimed to be oblivious to my drunkenness, and it didn't work. I said, they said, where did you get drunk? And I said, I don't know. Somebody gave me a drink, and I drank it. I didn't know I was drunk.
Well, you know, there's a lot of tactics involved, and from the legal standpoint, that we often look at it in the legal sense, that's your case. You had a case there. You had a very valid case. It started with, I was given a drink, so it's kind of like.
I also wasn't driving. I had been. What happened was I was ghostwriting. Speaking of, just to you know.
Bring it back. You're full circle there. Yeah. Going right back.
Right. It's relevant to the spirit conversation. We were ghostwriting, and on the hood, very slow, and there was no one in this quiet neighborhood, and then we stopped and parked, and we were listening to music still, and then
It's Delaware Dan. Does your family suffer from furry pornos that contain a hidden message which contains the secret code for getting 15% off at Party City this holiday season, which the liberals don't want the traditional family structure of Americans abroad to find out because of their fragile house of cards of bootlicking and rugged individualism was toppled by the dads whose meta-avatar was modeled after Jim Watkins and was spanking off the Jordan Peterson's tears that were encrusted into the bandana being worn over the face of a Proud Boy who was symbolically lynching himself in the eBay comment section for a bid war over dildo art being produced by politically correct sentient mannequins who were all locked up in sex jail? No problem. Only call 302-492-6947. I got that fucked up. 420.com. Call Delaware Dan. No problem.
we got pulled over. But we weren't moving. We were just parked on the side of the road, and we got pulled over. And I said, "Where do we go? We're already stopped. But where should we move forward?" And they said, "Get out of the goddamn car." And they said, "Are you drunk?" I said, "I don't know. I don't know." And then they told me that I was. I didn't know if I was, and they told me that I was. So
when they said those words, did it kind of activate some sort of intoxication all of a sudden, or was there just?
No, actually, it made me feel very alert and awake.
It's kind of a sobering effect
Normal.
there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to play a clip that you're not going to be able to hear, but I'll just sum it up for you.
Take my hand. Thanks for making the trip out to my house. 666, 69, Cemetery Road. No, don't worry about the cemetery. It's very small.
Well, thanks for coming to my house. The old Dan family house. 666, 69 Cemetery Road. Don't worry about the cemetery, it's very small. And it's empty. My grandpa built it for you and me. My grave shaped like a 6 and your grave shaped like a 9. The holes, the grave holes. Trust me, Delaware Dan, I deserve to know the secrets. That's why I deserve the name, because I know all the secrets of Delaware. Delaware's 1,000 years old. It's not going anywhere. You're safe here.
Okay, hold on. On Google Maps, I'm looking at it right now. Google Maps, there's a street in Newark, Delaware, called Cemetery Road, and I'm going to play the audio clip. You're not going to be able to hear it. I'm going to play the audio clip, and then it's going to say that on the Cemetery Road there is the Delaware Dan house, the Dan family home, and then there's a grave. There are 2 graves. One is shaped like a 6 and one is shaped like a 9. Can you elaborate on the further implications of this sort of iconography, or is there any sort of like mystical, Middle Eastern alchemical combos or something that we can tell the audience?
Well, some religions, they one way they prepare for. There are a lot. Anyway, okay. But there are many perspectives on the universe. There's the medieval religions. There's the contemporary Christianities, and they all make sense of the visible reality in a different way, and they're all wrong. And nobody can be right, but what you can do is prepare for the unexpected by assuming that the laws of physics change every day. And one day you're up and one day you're down, and the way that matter has to adjust to these changes can leave you looking at life from a different angle, figuratively, and they like to think it's possible that you might really be displaced by sudden, unexplained changes in reality. And so, because religion can only ever be wrong about reality, all they can be right about is that they don't know what reality is going to be tomorrow, and they don't know they're having a really hard time using all the data from the cradles of civilization all over the world to figure out the exact numbers, they're trying to compile and sync all the calendars from the 7 cradles of civilization, 7 wonders of the world, trying to make the final calendar and the second coming of Christ. Because it's such a hard calculation, they're still getting all the cryptocurrency calculating computers to work on that, and that is the jackpot. For if they can calculate that, the price of Bitcoin is gonna.
It's gonna lead us straight to the salvation. So I'm reading this right now.
High as the heavens, we'll say, for now.
There you go. Definitely high as shit.
So that explains the 6 and the 9. When they made the graves, they assume that you may be looking at it from multiple perspectives. Of course, the 9 is supposed to be a 6, but looking from the other way. So, and the partners in death should approach the graves from opposite directions, so that they each are seeing 6. Because the 9 isn't really a 6; it's a 6, 6, the 6 upside down 6, and then if it's a death trio, it's a 6, 6, 6, and there's 2 6s in the same directions. They stack nicely.
That's a jackpot.
And then from the other angle, if you're sitting at a 90-degree angle, it's something like Paisley.
There you go. Yeah, it's kind of nice, making people calm down a little bit. Because in death, I've noticed this, people get real shook up. That's understandable. But yeah, It's
well, when you're literally walking to your death on purpose.
Yeah, it's
stressful.
Shocking. It's shocking. Sometimes.
So you want to approach. You have to approach it from different angles, and that's why they made a 69 shaped double gravesite.
There you go. That's pretty. That's pretty deep. I'm reading this about Egyptian pharaoh regalia. This has all led me to this, and maybe there's some information, or maybe not. I don't know. I'm just going out on a whim. Scepters and staves were a general sign of authority in ancient Egypt. One of the earliest royal scepters was discovered in the tomb of Kasek in Abydos. Kings were known to carry staff in Pharaoh and Egypt, is shown to stone vessels carry so-called MKS staff. And so they probably took this with them into the 69 grave that they were, depending on, again, like you said, based on what their perspective was. But this would probably be one thing that could have been found inside of the grave if we dug them up.
See, I didn't know that. I just like to think that, but I didn't know it until you told me. But I do like to think about it.
That's amazing stuff. The mind is an amazing thing, and that's something that we're in. As you know, we like to unlock the mysteries of the mind. Sometimes
the mysteries of the mind, they can be coaxed out with suggestion and just new ideas. All you had to do was come up with an idea, search it on Google, make sure it exists already, and then tell me about it. And you like to think about it, and now I like to think about it. That's the spread of ideas, and that's how reality comes about, or at least the reality of the imagination. It's amazing how the power of the dissemination of ideas when you use a manipulative vocal inflection, to make people feel like they're on edge and they maybe should agree, or else
they might be
or else they would be out of line with the rest of humanity.
Right.
If you can figure out a way to talk that makes people feel that way, it's amazing what you can make them admit about their imagination and how it's so, and that's how. Now, and I hate flat Earth. I hate that the Earth is flat, but that's how I realized it was. Is somebody said, I like to think that the moon is a couple miles away, and it's just a smaller, huggable object in the sky, and that's all it took. And they just, and this speaker made me feel like I was, surrounded. I was like in a circle of people, and they were about to kind of squeeze me out of the circle, and I'd be looking at someone's back, and they were all looking at the truth in the middle of the circle, and I was outside, and they were squeezing me out, and as soon as you're out, you start to get cold.
It's not a good feeling. It's a little scary.
I'm going to consult, just to, since we're getting into this, I can't be responsible for anything I'm saying right now, and I have to consult. I have to consult my associate here.
There we go.
Hey there.
Hey there, just Delaware Dan.
Hey Dan, how's it going?
It's pretty good. Taking them one day at a time, as they say. Thinking about stuff, or maybe not.
Knocking them back.
Yeah. You set them up, I knock them back. I always say this. to my favorite. My favorite.
Yeah, no,
position.
I hear that. The days are long.
Days are long, and also the nights are short. Or also long.
The nights are long, actually, and the days are short.
Like last night, I went to bed 7 o'clock, fully thinking that it was midnight.
I had the same experience.
Sometimes it's just how it's the way the cookie crumbles. It's the way the moon that's only 10 feet away crumbles.
Well, Dan, where's your business now?
We're operating. I think at this point, I think we're able to say that we are functioning out of the Delaware autonomous radius, which within 50 feet of Delaware Dan. Which you're within 50 feet of Delaware Dan because there's a little bit of a quantum duality, I guess, going.
I like that. I do feel that.
If you're within 50 feet, you're on Delaware soil, and that's something that the federal government's going to have to come to terms with on its own time. But for us, we're moving ahead. We got a lot of ground to cover, and this is Delaware ground. So, but right now we're in Florida, and that's not a secret. Everyone kind of has been acting like it's a secret, but it's not. Delaware Dan, a lot of Delaware people are down here. They celebrate it in a funny way. There's a place called Hoagie's, or it's called Delco's, and they got hoagies and they cut them in half, and I don't know.
They cut the hoagies in half. Classic.
It's not a hoagie unless it's not cut in half.
So you feel like there's good Delaware spirit out there?
There's a little bit. I can't say good. There's definitely spirits, and there's definitely Delaware spirits. We got Dogfish Head.
I kind of feel like it's a little bit like you're a fraud now out there in Florida.
Well, that's what happens is when you become fraudulent, you got to go to Florida.
Florida, you become a fraud.
That's the bottom line. They don't let you in the border. Basically, if they tell you or if they ask you, do you have COVID, and you do have COVID, and you say no, they let you in. And that's why the numbers are so high, is because people are just kind of getting each other sick and they don't really care about each other. But now, a lot of us have got the shots and we're chilling. That's a real thing. But the part we're in is because of the Delaware autonomous radius, we're keeping it legit as much as we can, which, in Florida
Delaware legit.
Delaware legit in the state of Florida is pretty difficult. So we're,
Yeah, you found the water gap?
Found some kind of water gap. More of a gulf.
What about the bike shop?
The bike shop is, I think they're online now. They only do digital augmented reality bicycle rides.
Oh, that sounds like Florida.
What's it called again? Peloton?
Yeah, the Peloton.
They're doing Peloton for sure.
Jen, you been doing Peloton?
Only in my mind. Then I wake up. Then I go to work.
Man, that's the life.
That's pretty chill. My body doesn't hurt as much, so that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah, it's good not to engage your body, then you won't have to feel it.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's, these are enlightened masters of all religions have erroneously come to this decision.
Yep. It's all about disengagement and disconnection. That's where we're at.
For sure. Now, on the flip side of that, as far as directly engaging, we've been getting reports of these marijuana enthusiasts that are on skateboards seeing these bands playing. It's one band. It's like a 2-in-1 kind of 2-for-1 deal, which Delaware deals. It's not a Delaware deal. It's just we here at Delaware Dan, we're big fans of deal, 2-for-1 type situation. But there's these bands playing. Do you know anything about this? There's bands playing at skating, doing skate, with the bands playing with the skate.
No, I don't know anything about that.
All right, we were wondering if anyone had any information. Well, if anyone's listening, you have any information about this, go on YouTube and type in "is shit love." One word. There's love shit, and then I love this shit.
I love this shit. I don't know. That sounds a little inappropriate. I feel like.
Well, we're gonna beep it all.
I just kind of feel like you're not being real with me. You're trying to make me find some like Pornhub online. Like I'm not that.
No, it's YouTube. They got rid of all that on YouTube. Trust me. This has been Delaware Dan trying to figure out where it all goes to. All right, here's one. This one's called Shit. My love is the shit.
No. I don't know that.
Cash Money AP says shit you love.
I shit you love.
I shit you love now.
Have you got any leads to where it all went?
No. Well, here we go.
YouTube used to host the Pornhub content, and
they zoom it all in. They zoom it all in, so it's just like someone's armpit.
Yeah.
And
that's porn for the blind, actually.
Yeah.
So it'll just be text.
For the blind.
It's kind of with vague descriptions of whatever's going on.
Sorry,
man in furry costume approaches from the stage left.
So you said there's furry costumes?
Well, it depends on what you're looking at. That's kind of the main. That could be one of them. I'm not saying that it is, but that is actually here in my history. So I gotta go ahead and delete that.
Yeah, delete your furry content. I don't know. There's all types of potential spam out there. I don't know if I trust that this is even the Dan that I met back in Delaware. I don't understand why Dan in Delaware is living out in Florida, trying to get me to go to a Pornhub site.
Does your family suffer from unlimited internet access that changes the shape of reality, which collides in an unfathomably intricate interlocking cross-currents of digital ghost rivers that all flow into the ocean of boozy seltzers that we're all in swirling in on him? No problem. Call Delaware Dan this holiday season.
All about shitting at the ones you love.
There's a lot of potential Delaware Dans that are, and this is brought up in the episode. You never know what Delaware Dan that you're going to get, because there's too many of them. There's this guy, Delaware Dan. Wait, hold on.
Delaware Dan's John.
That's actually a new. We're getting together a waste management company doing Porta Johns. All right, here we go. Dan Gaffney, former Media Delmarva, and is truly the pulse of Delaware and must hear for anyone who cares. So if you hear this guy, he might be Delaware Dan. I'm here to tell you it's not. That's not Delaware Dan. There you go.
I don't know. I just can't feel you right now.
Well, as in the East, they say there's nothing to feel.
No matter what you say.
Well, if there's nothing to feel, then I don't even know why I bother having this relationship.
Because it's all Matrix, and this is.
Are you gonna see it?
Well, I've already seen it. It came out in '99, and
they revised it. Didn't they change it? They made a.
They're making a new one.
You get to see the revision.
Some people say
the first one's invalid now. Is that what they said?
I think it's just outdated.
I think it's invalid.
Definitely some validity is called into question. There's this one guy down here. He's saying every day he wakes up he sees the Matrix. So I was like, so you've seen it like 2,000 times, at least? Because how many times?
How old are you if you've woken up 2,000 times?
Well, are we including naps in this, or is it 2,000 days?
Roughly 6. Less than 6 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, good math.
That's a math wizard right there. And this is...
Yeah, that's a math wizard. Yeah.
He's, maybe salamander-esque, divided by 350.
That makes sense.
Roughly
6. 6, roughly 6.
Yeah. 5.6.
Really makes sense there. It's probably more than 6, like probably 7.
It could be. You get pretty close to that, I think.
No, 3, 6, 9, 6, 12, 18. So it's over. So if we're talking 2,000 times you wake up,
Yep. So
3, 6, 900, but then 6, 12, 18.
365.
There's a Slipknot song.
Yeah, but you do. Really? I've just been listening to Slipknot.
It's called People Shit Live. Oh, I thought
People Shit Live.
I thought it said Shit Love.
People shit love. People do shit on shit love.
It just comes flowing out.
Well, let's go back to this 2,000 divided by 365, because 365 times 3 is a little over $1,000.
That's right.
So then it would be a little over 2,000.
Exactly.
Right.
So
That
if
makes
you only
sense.
have 2,000, what you'd get is a little less.
Than 6 times? Yep, you're right. I get it.
That's a pretty big number.
Pretty big word.
Pretty big measurement.
Well, if you spell it out phonetically in English, that's how many letters? You know, are we counting the letters and adding those up? And what does that mean?
We're counting number of words in the definition.
So that's roughly
And
3,000. Yeah, there you go.
Syllabic parables. That's what we're talking about here.
You know, it's number of words in the definition divided by syllables.
So syllabic parable, that's 15 letters.
Syllabic parable, yeah, it's 15, but you have to times it by 2.
Oh, okay. So then 32.
Yeah.
Add 2 just for fun.
About 32. But then, so you take that and you do 32 equals x over 3x minus y.
There you go. That's kind of going over my head a little bit, but I think I follow. I think I'm following.
It's 2x over x minus y.
That's okay. All we're trying to do here is trick each other using numbers. Talking about math.
I don't know.
It's a way to
like disconnect and
deject people.
disengage.
It's a way to deject people.
Exactly, which just kind of brings us back to that other point, which is that the whole idea is that we want to not feel ourselves and not feel our body and not engage our body so that we can disconnect.
That's how you unplug from the Matrix. Because they disconnect in that show too. So maybe.
I think we might have figured this out.
I think we just figured out the path to liberation. Whoops.
You want your pastor to make you feel like you have a shot at
humanity,
being as comfortable, being as. You want your pastor to make you feel like you have a shot at being someone he respects.
Right. And that's all that really matters to some people.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes plenty of sense.
And most people are really hanging on by a thread with that opportunity. And so then when they get it,
they melt with the ice.
They make an effort. They make an effort to use that opportunity. And they'll use the same words, they'll use the same sort of language, and just to, even if if they're talking about math, they'll try to use a word they don't understand, hope that it makes grammatical sense, and if
it makes grammatical sense, it adds up.
Yeah, or just even if it doesn't make grammatical sense, it makes sense to the pastor. Then the pastor might recognize that, hey, you're emulating or simulating my style, and that's what I wanted, and you can now reinforce my power as a cult.
For sure, that's the whole point.
As a cult leader of culture in general, of an entire media-driven megachurch on the web.
Right.
Web-based media-driven web-based media-driven megachurch proliferating style on the web, and also a proliferating propaganda of weaponized language and culture for the next election.
that's the binomial distribution right there.
That is.
When
I'm kind of happy right there, you know.
Yeah, no, that totally just happened, and you know,
if you can get someone to say a word they don't understand, you can get them to vote.
That's true. I have seen this firsthand, 100%.
You can get them to vote. You can, yeah.
Something that
without the vote.
Yeah. Sometimes when I'm on thin ice, I like to chop up the little chunks of ice, put in my drink, just cool down, you know, because it's all good. Just time to melt with the polar ice caps and do a bath of love shit.
Hey, D-Man.
Yo.
Would you say that...
Double D-Man.
Would you say that you say yes a lot?
I say yes only when I need to, which is pretty much all the time. Yes. I would say yes.
That's good.
Do you say yes more when it comes to promoting
artificial intelligence?
I think so. You know, maybe.
Or what about like a diversity of intelligences? When it comes to promoting a diversity of intelligence, is that do you say yes more often?
I would have to say yeah, because there's just so many of them. That's how to go. I think. What do I know? But yeah, pretty much yeah.
Do you think that smart people ever get upset with you?
Definitely yes. You gotta deal with this frequently, but that's a yeah.
Danny.
And why do you think they even? What do you think can make a smart person upset? And are you proud to have attained the
someone else's sadness?
Yes. Wait, is this a yes or no question?
Yes.
Are you proud to have made someone smarter than you angry?
Yes. It depends. I think it depends on the level of, if they're multiples of 3 smarter than me, sure. If they're multiples of 4, definitely. Multiples of 5, I think so.
Yes.
I would say yes, yeah.
You're a yes man.
Well, that's how you do the Delaware deals. You gotta, but see, am I a yes man, or am I just thinking that I'm a yes man to get votes?
Truth.
People, I say yes to whatever you want. No problem. And that's why I say no problem. This kind of goes back. Oh, I don't have, I don't got no credit. No problem. I don't got no shoes. No problem. I don't got no shirt. No problem. All right. Then Delaware deals, it's there on the table.
You got no bag.
Ain't got no bag. Got no city bike. Got no
table.
No table.
No water.
Nope. No.
No Florida even.
I've been meditating on this. There is no Florida. Hey there, folks. It's Delaware Dan. Does your family suffer from spirits taking shots of 12 different distinct types of pumpkin spice flavored boozy seltzers, which resulted in the Delaware Dan boozy seltzers all named after the top 10 tombstone names of the past 47 years? No problem. Call Delaware Dan at 302-696-420. No problem. Call now. It's just a ravaged landscape that's been stolen over and over again with at least 12 exponents of 12 times, exponential times.
Dally D, can I ask you something?
Absolutely, you may.
I hear there's gold under the sand.
Here's the secret that no one wants to admit, and this is folks listening, you heard this here first. The sand is actually gold. It's just been divided up ad infinitum into tiny little particles. So what you do is get 2 pockets full of sand, get on an airplane, and the plane will crash because it's weighed down exponentially due to the weight, even though gold is statistically a very light metal. Not when you get that much concentrated together, but you do got to get a really fine sifter or magnifying glass and sift through this.
And then you just add water?
And then you add water.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that. I've done that before.
I figured as much. You just all seem real smart and very capable of doing it. I believe you. So yes, I say yes to that. Yes, I do believe.
Yes.
What you gotta do is you look up on YouTube giant gold nuggets score in Australia. And there's a modern video of, I forget his name, but the real way to do this is you just go out after a storm, a bunch of erosion has occurred, and this guy knows he knows exactly when he watches the weather. He knows when the storm's going to hit. He knows where to go, where the gold deposits are, because he studied geology, has a PhD in geology. He has to. I don't know how else he could be so lucky except for to put in the work and put in the effort to be lucky.
Yeah, I mean,
and then he goes out. He must have earned it.
He's a self-made man. Right? I'm looking at pictures of him.
And he's Swedish. He's Swedish, so they're born with a lot of technological advantage, but then he also used that advantage to study and get a responsible education, and he used that as a weapon to find gold, to target gold after storm, to use a combination of meteorology, geology, astrology to get out there and target the gold. And you can see it's like he's looking at it through a rifle scope, and because the whole video is just a scope, and he walks through the eroded area and just finds gold nuggets. He'll just move aside, it's just one stone, and there'll be a gold nugget the size of a fish. In the rock wall, sturgeon, and he pulls it out, and he'll do that 8 times in a minute. And this is a contemporary video.
If it's 8 times in a minute, how many
proving that the
seconds
gold
each time?
reserves are not depleted on Earth. How many seconds?
Yeah, if it's 8 times a minute.
7.5.
How many?
Roughly every 4 seconds.
No. 8 seconds over 32.
Wait, 8 times a minute?
It's like a little
sorry,
less than
every 8 seconds.
7.5 minutes. 7.5.
7.4? 7.5?
4 repeating. Well, 5. 7.5.
4 repeating? It's important. Yeah, that's good to know.
4, 6. 7 point... Well, 8 divided by 2 is 4.
How do you do it? 8 divided by 2 is not so familiar to me.
That's the more kind of rare one. Kind of like a Pokemon. You get them. They say Australia is the nostrils of Mother Earth. Is this why he's finding gold nuggets in there? It looks like he's holding the
rifle. Still out there, and they're actually growing bigger than the original 49ers ever could have imagined. But they're in Australia, and that's where you have to go if you want to find them. But as long as you have the will, you can find as much gold as you want. That's the lesson that this
there's an infinite
professional trying to teach.
There's an infinite amount of gold, and as Delaware Dan Incorporated, we can go there and the 49ers, we're the 69ers, and we're going to get all the gold nuggets that we can muster up.
Yes, I say yes to that.
Have you ever tried saying no and it just doesn't work, and that's why you always say yes?
Actually, I have, and that's been kind of a tough. I'm gonna have to answer that question with a yes. And I've got myself quite legal tribulations. Going back a couple years. I'm actually. This may or may not have anything to do with me being in Florida. I was in Delaware at one point. I was no longer allowed welcome back there, so there's a bit of extradition going on, and it all had to start with I said no to a simple request that was I felt to be along the lines of invasive and illegal. It was an illegal crime. I mean, I was committing crimes of more illegality than what was being. But still, it was kind of a question of who's doing more illegal crimes, and at that point, I couldn't tell. So I said no, I'm good. Nah, it's all good. And then next thing you know,
you're in Florida.
I'm in Florida. So yes.
Has your crime increased?
Well, not in the state of Florida. This is the state of Delaware.
Well, we're in the state of Delaware right now, but it's the state of Delaware autonomous radius within the state of Florida.
It's an illegal act in Florida, but it's an illegal crime in Delaware.
Yeah, precisely. And acts are treated a little bit more with kindness here. But again, kindness is relative because technically, all jokes aside, this is occupied Tocobaga territory, and that's the whole. We don't have time to get into it right now, but we will just address that there is definitely some disputes historically as to where we are standing upon, and that's just kind of that's nothing.
Yeah, take it to the ocean.
Before I change the subject to Delaware, back to supernatural events in Delaware, I just wanted to ask and make sure that this conversation will be censored for confessions, right?
Yeah.
Confessions censored, and also illegal, any kind of illegal
illicit
desire, expression of illegal desires.
Any illegal desires.
Or even illegal desires, or even inappropriate desires, inappropriate thoughts, or thoughts that make, thoughts that when people are, when they're expressed, people suspect illegal desires.
Right.
Yeah, I've definitely been having a lot.
You're gonna edit those out, right?
Yeah, it's all going to be edited. Totally edited.
But I've had a lot of kind of illicit thoughts throughout this conversation.
Well, unfortunately, you have to explore those to make sure you avoid them.
I haven't said them out loud.
You have to identify them to make sure you avoid them.
It's true, but I haven't said them out loud.
That's why the founding fathers invented. I'm not going to say it because they already said it so that we could avoid saying it. But they came up with it first. They didn't do anything wrong. They just identified the problem so they could avoid it. And
well, how do you do anything wrong?
And then there's all those, of course, the problems they didn't identify, they didn't avoid until they identified them. So that's why they were both trailblazers in terms of making sure that we understood what was wrong, and then actually discovering for themselves what was wrong, or committing illegal acts, so that we could learn from history books what was wrong.
Yes, it's true. I appreciated when they were decapitated, though.
Not gonna lie, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, then still they keep their heads up on that mountain.
Heroic way to die.
So
really
when
heroic.
how do they, people, they shrink heads, but sometimes they blow the heads up and they put them on a mountain.
They blew those heads up for the mountain.
How about that?
You didn't even know, but they have vessels inside there that are keeping them alive.
Petrified forehead.
Yeah, they take live bodies and pump out their blood to feed the heads. Damn. So these guys are still dangerous predators.
They're having illegal thoughts right now, and that's the bottom line. We gotta stop this.
I know. It's uncomfortable because I'm starting to have illegal thoughts because of this conversation.
Yeah. Well, can we talk a little bit about the timeline of Delaware, of like the key Delaware paranormal timeline?
Yeah, all we know is there's a sort of timeline rift. It's kind of like a prism. You take light, you shine it through a prism, and multiple emanations of the same ray or just slightly different forms. But as far as the apparitions, a good associate of ours, Dr. Frankleton Hurricane PhD, it's going on record, and he has mentioned several, different, maybe Mennonite. There's a Mennonite. There's General Ghost. There's a Taco Bell that doubles as a portal to hell. There's a Sasquatch that is driving a RAV4. And most recently, not most recently, but kind of recently, within the last 3 to 4 years, he's made mention of in Delaware.
Excuse me.
You know the number. And but there's one he's singing. He's talking about. He's building up to the song, and he's saying, and he's talking about, in Delaware, someone was going to sleep. And we'll play it on the episode, but
yeah, Alex used to live in these haunted apartments back in the day.
Skid Row.
In Wilmington, Newark, Delaware. Woo.
Michael's been there.
We met each other at a haunted Philly house show at a place called the Sprinkle Kingdom, I believe.
Yeah. First Gorilla Toss tour.
First Gorilla Toss tour of all time, for
and
sure.
Frank. It was Gorilla Toss and Frank.
And I met you, and you rocked a naughty harsh noise set.
I don't remember it.
And I was like, dude, you off the chain? And you said, I'm from Delaware. I said, fool, I'm trying to play there next week. And he hooked up the show, and it was off the chain. And that's how we met.
Exactly.
I think it was like 2 weeks after.
It's like a week and a quarter.
And the show was packed to the gills. There was schizophrenic shrimps left and right. Shrimps rolling in bottles of broken glass and shit. Not like Michael Collins last time he played here, but on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, God. And there was ghosts.
Yeah.
It was fucking haunted as hell. His girlfriend at the time was haunted as a motherfucker. She was telling ghost stories left and right about a dude that she would see when she would wake up in the middle of the night and he'd come talking to her in the apartment. And he kept going. But the thing was, she would also in real life be making this noise going. I'm pretty sure she was just waking herself up doing this shit, but man, it was psychedelic, let me tell you.
It's so real.
It was very spiritual. The song's for Holy Javi and Big Ben right here.
I'll sum it up. He goes to bed. Girl wakes up and she hears this voice saying, "Do you know how long it's been since I smoked weed?" And then when she woke up, there was nobody there. So she, and this was on the night when the veil between the imagination realm and the real realm was the thinnest, which is Halloween. So that's some interesting anecdotes, from that particular time that have been, they're out there.
What do you think about Frankleton's, songs, talking a lot about love these days?
There's the, what songs are, well, it seems like he loves nature a lot. That seems to be a big.
I think he says yes to nature.
I think he does. He definitely says yes to garden gnomes, and he says yes to nature. These are two. And when you think about it, garden gnomes are supposed to live in nature, so they're kind of like the bridge between the organic and the inorganic. I think. I could be totally wrong about it, but it seems right. But there's also those who have come and gone, came and went. Not came and alligator, but are caimans crocodiles or alligators? This is a disputed.
I think caimans are more frog-like.
They seem like they're like giant frogs that swim real fast. They're like tadpoles that eat people.
Yeah, have you been eaten yet?
Nope, been seeing them. We don't got the caimans here, but they're kind of their cousins. They're swimming out there in the lake, and they just kind of chill. Sometimes there's baby ones, and you're like, oh my god, its mom is somewhere. I'm probably about to get shit loved by some alligator. I don't know. But
No. Yeah, you're right. those Cajun alligators.
They're they're out there. But yeah, Franklinton, he says some shit about love. He's out there talking shit about love. That's for sure.
Well, he's talking about shit love all the time.
That seems about right. Any new updates with any updates? Period. At all.
Well, I'll update you when I'm done with this. I'm writing 10 fictional books about my real accounts of paranormal activity here in Hudson Valley.
How about that? That's amazing. Hudson Valley here is the most haunted place in the what's the mountains there? Adirondacks? The Adirondack Crest?
Catskill Mountains. Rip Van Winkle.
Catskills.
So all the patriotic Washington Irving Halloween stories that have become American classic books took place here in the Catskills and Sleepy Hollow, Terrytown.
How about that? Yeah, it's kind of scary, but keep up the good work. Looking forward to doing books on audio. You can look into the collection, books on audio. We did reading Delaware Dan Higgs was the most recent one. Then before that, we had problems with people. What's it called? It's an Eric Copeland book, and it's kind of hard to read. Pretty deep material because it seems like he took a magazine, he chopped up out all these words, and they don't make no goddamn sense. But we do books on audio, so stay tuned for that. It's pretty good. Gonna have to wrap.
Yeah. Move to the top.
Say that one more time.
Those books that you just talked about, I'm gonna move them to the top of my queue.
There you go. Delaware Dan Higgs, The Fool's Sermon. And
thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you both for taking time to talk Delaware Dan. And it's a pleasure hearing you guys. What can I say?
It's been a joy over here. I can speak for my family and me. I love to speak for my family.
Well, you always say you and your family, no problem. It's Delaware Dan saying no problem to you and your family anytime.
Same entity.
Please help me find the will to say no when it counts the most. That's the bottom line.
All that matters is that you have a family, even if it doesn't exist. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
I don't have them yet, but I still speak for my imaginary family and my future family when I say anything.
Well, there you go. That's pretty much.
That's why that may be, and even if that prevents me until the last, if that prevents me forever from having a family, it's okay.
Well, there you go.
I want to be so united with someone that I want to share DNA and I want to share thoughts and opinions. And I think the only way to do that is to make a family, and the only way to make a family is make a fictional family.
You got to start somewhere.
And that's why I'm writing those books.
Well, how about that?
There's a long history of ghosts, in the geographic family of the Hudson Valley.
Well, there you go. I think that's great. I think that's.
I once saw a book on a coffee table, a big picture book that said the Hudson River was the best river in the United States.
Greatest river of them all. Are rivers able to flow in multiple directions?
It does. It's one of those.
There you go. Therefore, it's got to be the best then.
Which reminds me, I have to go. I have to go right now.
Well,
not for any urgent reason. I just want you to know everything's okay here. I just have to leave.
Well, thank you again. It's very, very good talking to you, and thank you to both of you, and you see you down the road.
I love you.
Much love to Love to you.
Much as it loves to use, loves.
I hope you got what you're looking for.
I think we all did, maybe.
I did.
No problem.
I think we all do.
Alright, are you listening to Shit Love by the band called Shit Love? Pretty cool band, you know. There's respect. Alright, so this is the thing I'm talking about. That was so we just finished the meditation. It was about an hour meditation, longer than what we were expecting. So you see what happens. The effects of meditation take you deep states. Takes you to deep state and back. So thanks for listening. See you next year. Delaware Dan, be same Delaware Dan place, doing Delaware Dan, no problem. So thanks everyone been involved this year. It's a big year. And hopefully we get more new guests. We check in with some older guests. More advertisements on him. It's pretty good stuff, I think. And I just want to say, if you want to drop a line, don't hesitate. Go on Instagram, follow Delaware Dan 69. Shoot a DM on Delaware 69, and no problem. As always, we want to kind of, remind people, go listen to Tabs Out, go listen to Office Hours with Tim Heideckers. Do whatever you want, really. I don't give a shit. Try walking in the woods doing meditation. Unplug a little bit. Maybe put your AirPods in, go out in nature, listen to Delaware Dan. You become kind of inundated with all this new shit. So, all right. See you next year. Happy New Year to you from Delaware Dan. Happy New Year. No problem. We're not doing a New Year special. There will be a new episode next month. So we'll see you in January. All right. Love yous. All right. Peace. Hey there, folks. This holiday season, Delaware Dan's asking you one question. If you and your family suffer from flatulence caused by fraudulent charges being charged by scammers at the Deer Park Ghost Stores at Skid Row, which ended with the grand finale of the Christmas tree at Fox News being burnt on fire by the wrath of God, which had been incurred by the lead racist dog whistler and three-time shit-eating champion Tuckler Carlson's, due to the mirror reflection on the burning Christmas tree that was then displayed 8 more times, resulting in the image of a menorah with burning Fox News trees as the candles, and meanwhile, Sandman Adam Sandler's character from Uncut Gems gets a speeding ticket in the Barlow realm before being reborn as Dwayne The Rock Johnson's rightful heir to the earthen throne. Then call Delaware Dan at 302-420-6969. 999-666-420, extension 420.com. Yourvision.com is important to us at Delaware Dan, so please call now this holiday season. And we're wishing you a lot of cheer, and you can overcome these problems by calling Delaware Dan. It's no problem. Thank you. And cheer all over the planet Earth. Thank you.